Hello, everyone. I'm Alan West, and welcome to Next Generation TV. I'm joined today by the representative of California's 25th Congressional District. But more importantly, he was my boss when I sat in this incredible hearing room as a member of the House Armed Services Committee. We're joined today by the chairman of that committee, Howard Buck McKeon. Chairman, it's so great to be back here with you.
Great to be with you.
Let's first of all give our viewers a kind of an orientation to what California's 25th district is. Can you help us out with that?
This is my 21st year, so I've had 3 different districts.
Wow.
So I have most of the Antelope Valley
Okay.
in North Los Angeles County, all of the Santa Clarita Valley, also in LA County, Porter Ranch down the San Fernando Valley in LA County, and then go into Ventura County and have the city of Simi Valley,
Okay.
including the Reagan Library. So
Well,
it's a great
That is
district.
great. Absolutely have the Reagan Library. Now, let's talk about some of the incredible things that are happening when you look at the Department of Defense and really our national security and foreign policy. You know, we're getting the ruminations about us going to zero as far as troop presence in Afghanistan. And I have to tell you that you already see a model of that in Iraq going to zero, and what Iran has been able to do in extending their regional dominance and the sectarian violence that's kept back. What are your concerns about going, zero in Afghanistan, which, the president didn't really, talk about this when previously his speech at West Point?
Yeah, I was in Afghanistan a few months ago, and we were scheduled to meet with General Dunford the second day. You were just there. You were with me the time before, and you just have a couple of days. So they're very, very, from 7 till midnight, and get in as much as you can because it's the time there is very important. But we weren't scheduled to meet with General Dunford till the second day. General Dunford, the commander in Afghanistan. But he came into one of our early meetings the first day, and he laid out where we are now as far as the war effort. At that point, we had turned over 80% of the war effort to the Afghans, and then where we were on the bilateral security agreement going forward. What will happen as we draw the troops out in 2014? Will we leave a residual force behind? Will we be able to stay there to help the Afghans to ensure that they're able to have the security in their country that they need to become a viable, prosperous country?
Do you think that we have such a short-term, policy that we can't look, further down the road to understand the investments in the education that you're making with young people over there, how that will pay off? Some of those young soldiers and officers eventually will become, the sergeant majors and the generals later, and what impact that will make. So, there is a big concern about what Pakistan, the infiltration of the radical Islamists coming back across that border will mean. But then again, we have to understand is that they're looking for a sanctuary. And if we zero out, do you feel that there will once again be a sanctuary for those terrorists?
If the Taliban comes back in and takes over again, why would they not continue the way they were before we went in?
Yeah. We're not talking about nation building. We're talking about being a willful, ally to make sure that we can have focus on counterterrorism, but at least give them the opportunity to stand up on their own.
So they can have the security to build their own nation.
Yes.
I've been there several times now, and each time has become more positive. And as we were flying to the different areas, we visited a couple of the areas where the Afghans had now the control and were out doing their own patrolling, were doing their own combat, and they're doing their own medic evacuations.
Good.
We're not giving them air support. They're providing their artillery and everything. They're doing a credible job.
Without a doubt, you are the preeminent voice on the Republican Party side when it comes to national security. What is it that keeps you awake at night?
The cuts that we've made in our military, the budget cuts, I think people hear a lot about sequestration, but I don't think most of the people out in America understand that we cut $487 billion out of defense, and the chiefs had a year to work on that. And that resulted in a new strategy that veered from the strategy we've had since World War II to be able to fight two major conflicts at a time, to where now we're looking at one and then holding. And, you know, the world hasn't gotten any safer, just the opposite. I mean, China's increasing their defense spending. Look at the whole Middle East is just blowing up. We thought with the Arab Spring that Egypt had kind of solved their problems, and now that's becoming, you know, more in the headlines than Syria. And Syria is still a terrible situation. Iran, while we talk, they keep moving forward on their nuclear capability. So these budget cuts that we're doing, I think, are going to hollow out our military. A third of our Air Force is now grounded. And we're talking about, there's somebody talking about a no-fly zone in Syria.
Is there a good relationship between you and this administration? Because I get the sensing that a lot of things are, you know, coming down and happening without your consult, without your input, you know, a lot of the policies that are happening. Is there a good relationship right now between the Pentagon and you as the chairman of the House, or even the White House?
It's like the president, I don't even know where he is ever. You know, it's kind of like, do we really have a president? What's he doing? And I heard he had a cabinet meeting the other day and started talking about openness in government or something. I mean, you know, why not talk about Egypt? Why not talk about Syria? Why not talk about illegal immigration? Or, I mean, there's any number of issues that we're trying to deal with, and he's gone. So I guess we don't have kind of the relationship that probably would be good given the state of the world right now.
Sure. Well, I want to thank you so much, Chairman McKeon, for taking the time out of a busy schedule to sit down with us. And anytime, you know, we're here, and I'm here for you, because this is a very important thing. This is a constitutional responsibility that we have to, you know, provide the security and defense for this great United States of America. So thank you so much for being with us.
Well, thank you. You're a great American.
Well,
you've demonstrated it over and over again, and it's great to be able to call you a friend.
Thanks, sir. That was Chairman Buck McKeon, who is the chairman of the House Armed Services Committee. Please follow them on the website and make sure that if you have a congressional representative that is on his committee, that you're talking to them about the issues that you're concerned about as far as the national security and military readiness of these United States of America. For Next Generation TV, I'm Alan West, and thanks for watching.